Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we're going to talk about hearing protection at the range. These in my hands, these are the Isotunes Sport Defy model. Now I need to start this entire video by saying I'm not certain that this particular set of headphones is the current model. I believe these have now been superseded by a newer model. So if you go to the Isotunes website, you will see the Isotunes link aware. Now, I'm not positive if these have the exact same specifications, but what I can tell you is I think they're pretty darn close. So today's conversation about Isotunes, about hearing protection, what this means for me, how these have really performed for me at the range, so that if you are in the market for hearing protection, and most specifically Bluetooth hearing protection, this may be a brand for you. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now there's no doubt that hearing protection at the range is absolutely a must. But what do you really need out of your hearing protection? For me, it's quite simple. First and foremost, appropriate decibel reduction. I really need that decibel reduction. I have spent my entire life with loud instruments, playing in like heavy rock bands, just wailing on the drums, but I've always had good hearing protection. At this point in my life, somehow I've managed to protect my hearing protection even in the most severe circumstances. So decibel reduction, that is key. Second, the ability to still actually be aware of your surroundings. That is something that for me I've come to greatly appreciate while at the range. I am now currently at a range that has a huge amount of communication required. We have the need to actually go and place our targets downrange. So we're actively calling ceasefire, hot on the range, different commands. So the ability to hear the range officer and communicate with everybody that I'm with, that is absolutely a must. So traditionally, simple types of earplugs with 20-25 decibel reduction, pretty good. I can get away with these, but at the range, I just need more. Now, the other thing is, well, you could put on the good old, Joe homeowner lawnmower earmuffs. In combination with the earplugs, they're going to be perfectly fine, but you lose the communication factor. I cannot tell you the amount of times at this point where I've been trying to communicate with somebody sitting on the end of the line, literally barking commands, and they're just not hearing me. They either have the inability to communicate, they're completely deaf, or they have the wrong hearing protection. Or all three, to be honest with you. And I think the lack of proper hearing protection and the ability to hear is not only a detriment, but it could potentially be completely unsafe. Now in a prior video, I did cover these Walker's Slim Razor headphones. These are fantastic, but I wanted a little more. These are electronic, but they're not Bluetooth. So these Isotunes, I did a bunch of research. I came across these. I've been wearing these for months now. I actually bought them pretty much right after the Walkers, so I've been wearing these the entire time. I love them. Fantastic audio quality, not only for my ability to hear other people and commands, but actually music at the same time. Now, you could say, well, how safe is that? To be honest with you, it's not that unsafe because you have strategically separate audio feeds with different volume controls. So I can take my audio for the voice commands and crank it way up. I can take my tunes, crank it way down, and just have enough music to be cool, a little background sound. Or if I'm getting to the point where I'm actually getting to some work out in the yard, I can take the voice, I can crank it all the way down, completely eliminate my need to hear anybody, and get some good quality tunes. These have been absolutely fantastic. And so keep in mind, these are 25 decibel reduction ANSI rated earmuffs. So generally speaking, about as good as you can get for decibel reduction, with the caveat being, unless you couple these with other hearing protection. I do have to say that, quite honestly, I do find that most of the time, not only am I wearing the earmuffs, but I do also have these sort of custom molded do-it-yourself decibels, which I did cover these in another video. And in combination, I'm like literally perfect. I can still hear. I have the ability to really protect my ears. And because these have literally speakers and microphones picking up the sound, I do also have the ability to hear perfectly. So protecting my ears, yet at the same time having the ability to hear everything. This has been awesome. Now on the sides, very straightforward. As you take a look at these, you'll notice left hand and right hand side, so they are marked. And as you take a look at it, well, if this is the right hand side, interestingly enough, you do have your microphone set towards the back. So this has the ability, as you're looking forward, to kind of pick up some of the sounds behind you, which is a lot of times where your audible sort of commands are going to come from. So not necessarily always in front, but behind as well. And these do work very well. Now on the sides, you do have your controls. So again, you end up with two different sets of controls. You have your voice command, and then you have your audible music. So a long press here.
Bluetooth pairing mode.
It says Bluetooth pairing mode. Again, keep in mind, these are Bluetooth headsets. So they do work very well. They come up on a device with ease, no problem. And when you go to turn these off, long press.
Power off.
Power off. It gives you audible commands, which I like. You can definitely hear that. It works out extremely well and gives you an indication that these are turning on and off to help you manage your battery life. A nice comfortable headband over the top. These are not going to be nearly as compact as other models. In fact, comparing them here against the walkers, you can see they are significantly larger. The muffs themselves are larger. The headband, the entire assembly, everything about these just larger. But that's not a big deal, and you really are kind of getting a little bit of better protection in my opinion. So that's absolutely worth it, even for a little additional size. Underneath the cover here, you can see this is the battery. So here's your Isotunes battery. This is rechargeable, which is awesome. It does leverage a micro USB connector, which underneath here you can see there is your charging port. If you've seen any other reviews or sort of videos on these, that charging port, because it's not centered in the opening, is a little tough to get on. You do need a micro USB that's fairly long and can reach all the way in there. So the one that it comes with is suitable. If you have another micro USB cable, you could find it's a challenge to get it to fit, but the one it comes with is ample in terms of the length. Now, the overall audio sound quality of these, very nice. I'm not going to say it's like putting on your Bose headset, but they're good. They're good quality sound, and especially when you take the audible commands and turn it all the way off. When you click them on, you do get a little bit of that sort of pass-through noise, which you can hear it. It can be a little distracting, and you're certainly picking up on other sounds sort of out in the environment, but anything that's loud and percussive does cut off. So if you have the microphones turned on, it does give you the ability to sort of filter some sounds, or if you turn it off completely, that works out very well, and it does increase, in my opinion, the overall music sound quality. Now, the other thing that's nice about these, you can receive phone calls. So the ability to answer phone calls, that is awesome. What I can tell you is the microphone on these works very well. It is reasonably clear. I've had nobody with any problems whatsoever hearing me while I talk, and I can hear everybody perfectly. If you are messing with the buttons on the side, turning the volume up or down, the person on the other end can hear that. It becomes a little confusing. They're going to ask you what's going on. You're just messing with the volume settings on the side of your headset. Now, with these paired up to my phone, you can hear the audio. You can see when you push all the way up, they beep. That's that audio command for full volume up. Volume down, and that's all the way down. Again, volume up. And there you go. You can press the center button. That's going to pause the music. Press it again. It's back on. So the commands on these, very, very good. These do get reasonably loud, which is nice. So again, you do have the ability to adjust the volume, pause, and start the music again. And then this is going to be the audio commands. So you can literally turn these all the way down, and you can get rid of the voice from the external commands altogether. So if you're in a place where you don't need that, turn that off. It does improve the overall audio quality of the music. Or if you want, turn it up all the way up, dial that music back, and you get the safety of having good quality audio commands and a little bit of music at the same time. Now, one thing to point out, if you have your microphone all the way up and you're not careful, you can get some feedback. So just pointing out that you do want to be a little bit careful with these and not leave them on the bench turned on. If you do that, you could find these are sitting there feeding back, and it's just a little wear and tear, in my opinion, that you could do without. Now again, as I mentioned, these do come with a micro USB connector, and this is what I'm saying. If you take a look, this is a little longer than some other ones. That's going to be long enough to get in and actually charge these. Comes with your little quick start guide and then your user's manual. Pretty straightforward. These also do come actually, and this is I think just for storage and the way they come in the package, but these did come with these little foam inserts, which at this point I kind of lost one of them, but I wish I didn't. This to me is still plenty useful, and for the reason I say, well, I actually have these earmuffs for my kids. And, well, it would be nice to just get a little extra padding in there for them. So these are actually pretty useful. No reason to get rid of them. Comes with this package. So just keep these aside and put them to good use. Taking a quick look at the box, pretty straightforward. Now, again, keep in mind what I'm showing you today. Well, this is the Isotunes Sport Defy, which I think in essence are really the same as the Isotunes Link Aware. Pretty close, if not identical. I mean, it gives you a pretty good understanding. So if you're in the market for some sort of headphones like this, take a look at the Isotunes website, and if you do see the Link Aware, that's going to be pretty much the same as these. And a couple last details, you can change out the earpieces if you need to. They are replaceable. And the other thing is these do fairly well with glasses. Granted, they're not going to be perfect, but at the same time, the ability to sneak my glasses in there doesn't really break the seal too much. These are kind of squishy enough that they do all right. The glasses get in there, and I still have a reasonable seal altogether. And so all in all, very, very good. Having good quality hearing protection for me, an absolute must. I mean, no matter what I'm doing, having a couple sets of good headphones, that's going to be critical. The earmuff style, getting over my ears, keeping them protected, and then in combination with some plugs, it really does do a very nice job protecting my ears, keeping me safe, giving me the audible commands that I need, especially with the Bluetooth, having a little bit of music. I find I use these. I've actually used them for editing my videos. I've used these for sitting in bed. Just because these can be used at the range doesn't mean they don't have dozens of other uses, especially when you don't want to hear other people, or you want to act like you're not hearing other people, but you're really listening to what they're saying. But all in all, the Isotunes Sport Defy or the Link Aware, either way you go, they're going to be fantastic. And if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless channel, which is my primary channel. On that channel, I cover everything from hiking, camping, backpacking, the outdoor excursions, and all the gear that goes with it. So from sleep systems, shelter systems, knives, axes, flashlights, you name it, that's my Outer Limitless channel. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.